Have you ever found yourself in that really frustrating place between what you truly believe and what you actually do? It's a question that honestly haunts so many of us who are sincerely trying to seek God. Why do we stumble, even when we know the right path? Let's dive into this together.
So why do we do it? Why do we do the very things we know we shouldn't? I mean, we have the knowledge, right? We have the guidelines, and we even have a genuine desire to please God. And yet, there's this gap. This constant conflict between what our mind knows is right and what our actions show. It's a struggle that I think we all know too well.
Take this for example. We know that God is a God of truth. That honesty, that integrity, it's at the very center of a life that honors Him. But then a moment comes and a little lie could save our reputation, or maybe just get us out of an awkward situation. And even though we know better, we choose the lie.
Or think about this one, which is maybe a little more personal. In public, we say we love God, and in our hearts, we really mean it. But then, in private, when no one else is looking, we find ourselves pulled toward thoughts or images or actions that we know He dislikes. We're turning towards the very things that dishonor the one we claim to love. What is going on here?
Well, the first step to really understanding this is to see these actions for what they truly are. These aren't just, accidental slip-ups or little mistakes where we weren't thinking. No, they are choices. We see two paths right in front of us, and we consciously, deliberately choose the one that leads away from what we know is true.
And this brings us to a much deeper understanding of what sin even is. See, it's not just about the wrong action itself, the lie or the secret habit. Sin is the state of the heart that leads to the action. It's a condition where our own desires, our own wants are put on a throne that's higher than God's desires. The action, that's just the symptom. The disease is the direction of the heart.
And you can see this disease so clearly in our own hypocrisy. I mean, think about it. When we're the ones who fail, we're so quick to make excuses. We tell ourselves, oh, I was just weak, or it was just a momentary lapse. But what happens when we see someone else commit the exact same sin? Our judgment is instant. It's harsh. We think, wow, they should know better. How could they?
So we have to stop and ask ourselves, why is there such a double standard? Why do we see our own failure as just a simple weakness, but someone else's failure as a deep, serious flaw in their character? This huge inconsistency, it points to something really broken inside of us.
And the answer is, this hypocrisy, this constant internal battle, it's a symptom, it's a sign that points to a fundamental problem. Our hearts are sick. They aren't working the way they were designed to. There is an illness deep within that's causing all this spiritual dysfunction.
And this right here brings us to the absolute core of the issue, where we usually get the cause and effect completely backwards. We tend to think that it's our wrong actions that make us sinners, but the truth is the exact opposite.
We sin because we are sinners. Our actions don't define our nature. Our nature produces our actions. Think of it like this. A tree doesn't become a bad tree because it grows bad fruit. No, it grows bad fruit because it is a bad tree. In the very same way, our sinful acts are the natural outflow of a sinful nature.
So what exactly is this sinner's nature? It's a state of being. It's a fundamental corruption at our very core, a heart that is naturally bent away from God and inclined toward pleasing itself. And this isn't a problem that we can just fix by trying harder. This is a problem of being fundamentally misaligned.
And look, this isn't some new idea. The scriptures have been talking about this universal human condition for centuries. This passage just confirms it so powerfully. This state of being turned away from God, it's not just a problem for a few people. It is the default state for every single one of us. Nobody gets a pass.
And this, right here, is why our struggle is so deep. For someone who doesn't believe in God, their actions are at least, consistent with what they believe. There's no contradiction. But for us, for those of us who say, I know God, I love God, our disobedience becomes a profound betrayal. It's an act of hypocrisy against the very truth we say we believe.
So here's the crucial point. That knowledge we have, it actually increases our responsibility. To know what God's will is and to then willfully disobey it, well, that's a far more serious thing in His eyes. The light we've been given just makes our shadows appear that much darker.
Okay, so if we accept this diagnosis, that the root of our problem isn't just our behavior, but the actual condition of our heart, then the next question is impossible to avoid. What's the cure for a sick heart?
How do we get healed? Do we just try to follow more rules? No, that doesn't make sense. A sick person doesn't get better by just memorizing the hospital's rule book. Do we just try harder, using our own willpower? That's like a patient trying to perform surgery on themselves. Or do we need someone from the outside? Do we need a specialist? A doctor?
The solution becomes crystal clear when you think of it this way. A person with a serious heart condition doesn't need a textbook on how a healthy heart is supposed to beat. They need a physician, a surgeon, someone who can actually intervene and heal what's broken. We are all patients, and we are all in need of a cure.
And this is the very heart of the good news. God didn't just leave us in our sickness. He saw our broken, corrupted condition, and out of His incredible love and mercy, He sent a specialist. He sent the great physician, Jesus, whose entire mission was to heal the human heart right at its core.
And Jesus Himself confirmed His mission with these powerful words. He didn't come for people who thought they were spiritually healthy, who had it all figured out. No, He came for those who knew they were sick, who recognized their own brokenness and their desperate need for a doctor.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. The help of the great physician isn't for people who can prove how spiritually strong they are. It's offered to those who are willing to admit their spiritual sickness. It is only in acknowledging that we are broken that we can finally become candidates for His divine healing.
So as we come to a close, we're left with one final, very personal question. Recognizing the sickness that's inside, are you ready to stop trying to heal yourself and instead meet the physician that God has sent? Are you ready to let Him do the work that only He can do?